Intimidation, intimidate. Intimidation is the act of deliberately making someone feel afraid, threatened, or coerced, usually to influence their behavior or decisions. It often involves the use of fear, either through words, actions, or even implied threats to gain control or dominance of another person. So, in the legal context, intimidation can be a crime, especially if it's used to influence witnesses, force someone to act against their will, or obstruct justice. In a workplace or school, it may be part of bullying or harassment, where someone usually uses their position or presence to make others feel uncomfortable or powerless. Everyday examples: yelling, glaring, making threatening gestures, or using one's size or authority to pressure. Okay? Someone can use all these forms of intimidation. And let's take this a little bit further when you talk about intimidation through politics. Juzi tumekuwa na maandamano. And what has happened? We've seen intimidation of our men. I'll go back to the maandamano in 2024, and we saw policemen. I think, let's just say all these policemen and army, because they were all there. We saw it. And if you look at these policemen were actually pointing the gun at men specifically. Okay. And you may wonder, okay, you may say, okay, this is just normal. This is what that was a form of intimidation, pointing the gun at someone and unaliving them, killing them on the spot. And they made sure everyone saw it. Come back to 2025. We saw an unarmed young man doing his business. Unarmed, he wasn't even attacking. And they shot him point blank. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the forms of intimidation. And there have been abductions. There have been a lot of things that are happening. And this is a form of intimidation. And I'm talking about intimidation because this is what most governments, if not our government, most leaders have been using for the longest time. And this is not just leaders, political leaders, even in our workplaces. You've seen things like this, okay? But let's stick to what is happening now in Kenya. Men are being intimidated through these killings, abductions, you know. We have the position where we can come out and speak out injustices and wrongdoings and accountability that the government is bringing to our country. And these men are being silenced. Okay? We'll start with the men. They're being silenced or being coerced to get silence. Okay? So that the next time you think of going out for a maandamano, the next time you think of talking out about this injustice, the next time you have evidence against a political leader, the next time you feel like, okay, these people are not doing well. Okay, our taxes are almost half our salaries. This is not right. Okay, our minerals are being stolen from our country. The next time you think about talking about all of these things, you'll think about, oh, there was a Rex Masai somewhere who was unalived because he wanted to talk about something. There was a guy who was doing this. And it gets to an extent, these people are really, they have this, they're doing it without even thinking, oh, what you gonna do? Because it's what they're saying right now through these actions of unaliving our men. Our kids, there are 5-year-olds who died in the maandamano. There are teenagers who died here. There was a man, they're just shooting around. A man just chilling in his balcony. Anauliwa. Intimidation. And that's why unaona wako na this, how do I call it? They don't care. Actually, they don't care. Even this CS Murkomen, and he's like, you're actually the ones who are on the wrong, and we will shoot to kill you. Intimidation, intimidation. Okay, fuck. Ah, it's intimidation when it comes to women is dire. But I want to be honest with you. I am concerned about men's intimidation and women's intimidation, because even if we say, oh, men are not so good, we are still having kids with men. We are still giving birth to men. So, it's high time we just stop this rift. It's high time we do this, because anyway, that's another story for another day. Let's look at how this political leaders are using are causing intimidation to women. Okay, so when you look at intimidation, when it comes to women for political interest, it's the deliberate use of threats, harassment, violence, or coercive tactics to silence or discourage women from participating in politics, activism, or public life, whether as voters, candidates, journalists, advocates, or even just going out there and, asking for our justice. You know, yeah, it's serious and it's growing. And I feel like this undermines democracy, human rights, and gender equality. Okay. So, some of the forms that this intimidation when it comes to women is online abuse, you know, uh, rape threats, death. We've seen deaths. Mnakumbuka Kware. We've heard about rape, the maandamano juzi. And it's often targeted to women who speak out online or even there on the streets when they come out kwa wingi and we say we don't want this, this government is not so good, it's not doing right for us, okay? Or even women who hold public justice, okay? There is physical threats, we've talked about it, intimidation at rallies, the other mandamano that happened on June 25th, there was a lot of rape, a lot of women were harassed. There's even a video of policemen harassing women. Yes, you know, um, there is a misuse of laws or official procedures to discredit or silence or penalize women, or critiques of the government. Okay, and we have seen this through the way governments are not talking about the harassments that are happening. Yes, and a lot of things that have been happening to women, and it's so sad. It's crazy how people, how do I put it, are using rape and femicide. Rape and femicide is the, killing of women because they're women. That is one. God, this is just too much, because when you think about ladies going through this, unasikia tu chungu, yeah. But rape and femicide are among the most extreme and brutal forms of gender-based violence that are used as tools of intimidation. Okay, in certain political or conflict-driven contexts, these acts are not only crimes of violence but also serve broader purposes to terrorize, control, and silence women and entire communities. Okay, so how these people, women are mostly outspoken. Okay, sisi huongea sana. And sometimes we are targeted with sexual violence or threats of femicide to punish us for our visibility or, our dissent. This creates a chilling effect, warning others not to speak out or even run for protest or even go to protests and demand our rights. Because you think, oh, there was a lady who was raped, and it actually works because we are scared of even our kids, because some of these policemen You can see they were even coming, wanakuja wanaleta even goons, you know. And in communities or countries where impunity for these crimes is high, public or highly visible rapes and killings of women send a message. And it sent a message of, if you defy power or step out of line, this could happen to you. And that is why you see our government, our Kenyan government, akina Murkomen, hawajali. There have been cases of femicide, a lot, but nothing is being said. The same way unaona, the killings of our men is not being talked about, is not being stopped. It's the same way these femicide cases are not being talked about. And you may wonder, because everyone is wondering, why are these people not talking about these femicide cases? And this is one of the reasons. It's an intimidation. Femicide mingi a lot of women were killed. Kule Kware, a lot of bodies were taken out. And then what happened next? Oh, we found this person. Oh, he escaped. He escaped. Uko jail. How? And that story ended and ended. Meaning, if it's true that killer, or which I don't believe that was the killer, that person was the killer. But if truly he was the one, it means he's out there and no one even cares about it. Justice again. So if something you think about talking about this injustice is happening and you think, oh my God, what if I end up like those ladies? Then you fear and you don't talk about it. You don't go out to protest because a rape may happen to you. Okay? You see, it's a form of intimidation. Because even if I know this person is the one who did this to me, or to my friend, or to my mother, or to my daughter, even if I go out there, even if I go to the police station, and maybe it was someone in the government who did this to me, hakuna kitu ita happen. Even those ladies who are killed, even that guy who was killed on the streets doing nothing. Even if something like this happened to one of my friends' relatives, regardless of if he's a man or a woman, and I went to the police station to ask for help, no one will help me. It's a form of an injustice, a form of intimidation, and the fear can go deep down. It's a weapon of war. It's a weapon of political repression. Rape is systematically used to degrade, dominate, and cleanse populations. Femicide, especially to these women who go out there, aims to eliminate influence and hope. And this is it's so bad. So bad. This intimidation actually causes, especially to both our men and our women, it causes this psychological warfare, and we live in fear of being targeted just for existing publicly, just for being out there, just for going for your job. Because we all know, kuna kazi unaambiangwa hawataki kujua. Sisi tuko huku chini, we know. Kuna kazi utaambiwa ukuje ama ukose kukuja. Yani kukuwe na maandamano ama kukose. You should be at work. Especially, we know. So most of these people, some are even going to work. Because hawajui tukikosa kwenda leo, the boss might fire us. Okay? So, when these rapes happen, when these femicides, when these killings happen, when these abductions happen, we live in fear of being targeted for just existing. Kukua tu, tuko tu. Tunaenda job, tunauliwa. You do this. And it also, you'll also see a reduced participation, especially when it comes to talking about the injustice, talking about the bad system, the bad governing system. The misappropriation of funds, people will start talking less about it. And I hope this doesn't happen. But this is what the intimidation tends to. They want to achieve this through this intimidation. There's a social breakdown where communities are fractured by grief, silence, and fear. And you'll find, like, there was this kid, and he posted how he came from Andamano, and the mom was just waiting, and she saw the kid, And she even prayed. And she was like, are you okay? Are you good? You know how much I was scared. And I can only imagine. I have a bro. And when he was in high school, na achelewe tu hivi kidogo. And there's nothing even in the streets. Ni ile tu kuchelewa. You know how kids in boarding schools go to the town centers and they are buying stuff. They go for shopping. So angechelewa kidogo, my mom will be worried like crazy. So I can only imagine there is a maandamano. You know your kid went to maandamano. And you don't know kama atarudi ama hatarudi. Because high chances are, you don't know. Hii si kitu hata unaweza sema okay, we enda ukae hapa hii side hakutakuwa na bullets. And people bullets zinawapata, wengine wanagongeshwa vichwa. Wanaambiwa wamegongeshwa vichwa. You don't know. Kids may be just chilling. There was a high schooler who was shot coming from school. So you don't know where these people will get you. There is this fear. But I hope that we find a way to protect ourselves. And it's so sad. And to the fallen soldiers, I hope that one day we will get justice. And I hope that this governing system will work. I just hope so. And I hope that even in the next election, we make better decisions. Before you even vote, before you even cast a vote, ask yourself, is this person coming to change or anaendeleza? Because most of these politicians have been, it's like a continual process. They actually make it worse. And right now I'm seeing people talking about Rigathi Gachagua. And I'm like, why? This person, when he was in his deputorial seat, I can call it that, he one day talked about policemen. If these kids do this and this, do your job. You know, him and Murkomen are no different. When Murkomen says shoot to kill, and Rigiji says do your job, what does that mean? Yeah? And maybe out of context, maybe, but look at him. If he was not laid off job, he wouldn't be talking now against the government. He will be behind it. Look at all these politicians. Look at this other one, Jimmy Wanjigi. He has been in the government for a very long time. Why didn't he change? Why didn't he talk about it from the first time he saw this wrongdoing? Maybe the first time, okay, you'd be like, this is crazy, man. And then you see it a second time, and at that time, at least talk about it. But now, because maybe his interests are not locked with this government, is why he's talking about it. And he has these PR stances. The other day when the police raided his home, and then he's out there with his wife and kids. No offense, such a good family. But, it was just like a PR stance, me and my first wife, how it could be. This could be us. This could be me as your president, but you need to elect me, yeah? I hope you get it. It's crazy. And now there's Ricky G. And he's just talking and talking. And for me, he doesn't make sense. Yes, he's talking, but if you are in the government, are you just talking because you got found out? It's like the ex, your cheating boyfriend. And he doesn't talk about him being sorry about cheating. Follow me. He doesn't talk about him cheating until he gets found out. Did I say that correct? If you never found out about the other girl, you wouldn't be here saying sorry, taking out on trips, on guilt trips, maybe buying you a new car because he's sorry. It's because he got caught. Same thing is happening with your these other politicians, these Rigijis and all of these people. They're only talking because their interests do not align with what this government is offering for them, not for the people. I am very skeptical about Maraga. I don't know about him, so I won't talk much about him. But it's this Reggie and Jimmy Wanjigi, these two people. And these other politicians coming here for a PR standard to tumekuja maandamano. Guys, I hope we look at what we should not forget why we are what we are fighting for, a good governance. Hmm? Look at our minerals. We have minerals that can pay off our bills in 1 month, but they have been zinachukuliwa zote. And see ati we do not have machines that can help us maybe turn these minerals from raw products to refined products and then sell them off for good amounts of money. It's just that these people, let me tell you how these things work. When a state is, let's say, for example, the maandamano, who benefited from that? Who benefited from that? Maybe watu wa garbage because watapewa kazi pigi. I know. Even the hospitals because wataletewa many patients. You see, I'm just giving an example. And when there is a crisis, there are people who benefit from it. And that is where you should, the people who benefit from a crisis, hapo ndio unafaa uangalie. For example, when the systems are not working for the state. For example, when it comes to our minerals, I look at the minerals because they can pay our bills. We don't have to be taxed half our salaries. Look at what happens when there is a crisis, when we don't know where these minerals are going to, we don't know how where these minerals, how much of the minerals we have, who is benefiting from this? It's the broker in between. It's the person who comes with this machinery and says, you know what, you have a lot of minerals, we can pay you this amount so that we can get these minerals and we can give you a small amount. The person benefiting is the person who is coming to get this stuff, the person who is being paid to oversee, and the person who we think is there to oversee this, the extraction of these minerals, the payments and all. That is the person, especially if there is no system at hand. For example, the CS of mining. Unafanya nini kutusaidia hapa kwa hizi mambo za minerals? These people are coming in our country, extracting our minerals. They are taking it outside as a raw product. Wanapeleka, for example, they take it to a place like Dubai or where is this other place? Okay, me just know of Dubai. For example, allegedly, let me put that there. They take it there as a raw product, then they refine it, and then they call up, for example, those people in between hadi hapo kwa CS of mining, and they're like, okay, so we took like 20 tons of this gold raw product and we refined it, and the refined gold, now the gold without the impurities is like 5 kgs or 10 kgs, or 10 kgs or 20 kgs. They took a whole ton and you don't know what's happening in there between. Hata sisi sasa ndio sisi kama Wakenya hatujui ni pesa ngapi hata itapotelea hapo. Sijui kama mnanielewa. I don't know if you're getting me. Hapo katikati hatujui ni pesa ngapi itapotelelea. Hatujui nani atachukua. Is it the white people who are coming and taking that raw gold? Is it this mining people, these CS people that we have put there to oversee this? Because there is no system. That's a crisis. Anyway, guys, let's look at all these killings, abductions, femicide, and all this stuff as intimidations. This government is trying to, kama hawana policemen enough, they should cut their budgets and increase more policemen. But now the policemen are even killing us, so I don't know. Trend wapi. God help us.